This is an international podcast transmission. Is anyone out there? If you're listening, you've reached the No Fixed Agenda podcast.
Welcome everybody to No Fixed Agenda. We're presented by Bubs Naturals. And we are finishing off our wellness segment of our conversations. Those last 4 weeks or so, last month, we've been having a lot of wellness conversations, holistic conversations, just to get a little bit better understanding. I've always been one who's not really into that. And so for me, it was really kind of cool to hear some of these conversations, really what people are doing in these fields. And this episode is no different. Dr. Lisel Lewis is a chiropractor here in the San Diego County area, and she kind of breaks down chiropractic work for us. And I'm not going to lie, I'm fucking terrified of chiropractors. And I explain that in the episode, and I go into it. Now, am I so much anymore? No, not really. I think I have a little bit better understanding now that I've had a chance to talk with a chiropractor about everything. I guess I let social media and Instagram kind of dictate my mentality with it. You know, people post these photos and videos of getting their necks snapped or backs cracked really fast, and it just looks terrifying. So I think that's where my mentality has just been like, nope, I'm not going to do it. Now I can at least say I would consider it at this point. I have a little bit better understanding of how a chiropractor thinks and works. And it was a fun conversation. Again, it's all about learning, all about taking that journey on the way to the destination. And this was a good one. So I hope you guys enjoy, and please welcome Dr. Lisel Lewis.
This is No Fixed Agenda, brought to you by Bubs Natural. Their mission statement is simple: live better, live longer. Bubs helps fuel people to reach their maximum human potential through supplements sourced from nature's highest quality ingredients, while giving 10% of all proceeds back to charity. Learn more about their NSF sports certified collagen peptides and electrolyte drink mix at bubsnaturals.com.
Dude, I gotta wear shorts, and
I couldn't imagine you in the button down with
bro,
I can do it.
Oh, I look like when I was bigger, I looked like Guido from the Mafia, bro. Yeah. And when I was thinner, I just looked sexy as fuck.
Fair enough.
But I couldn't stand, like, this drives me crazy, dude. I could not wear pants, man.
Yeah, I don't do jeans.
It fucking drives me nuts, bro. I cannot.
I'm mostly in Viore pants more than anything else.
Yeah.
So I have 2 pairs of pants that I wear repeatedly, and those, because they're like the stretch athletic fit. But other than that, it's Viore or Prana.
I can do tights, like long tights, but I can't do pants.
Yeah. See, you didn't think you were going to get into this kind of conversation.
No, this is the type of conversation I enjoy the most.
So
I don't do
our
jeans
mutual
either.
friend Corinne from Affirmations, right? I had a hike with her in the morning. She's, so you're interviewing Lisel, and I said, yeah. She goes, she goes, what are you guys going to talk about? I said, I don't know. We're going to be.
We'll find
I'm
out.
assuming we're going to talk about something chiropractic, right? And she's, oh, she goes, and then you asked me the question. I said, I told her about the question you asked me on Instagram, and I was like, no fixed agenda, man. We don't want to. There's no script here.
No, it's nice that way.
That's what attracted me to reach out to you before I even met you guys. I was like, no fixed agenda.
Yeah,
I have no fixed agenda.
yeah.
You do though, right?
Baselines.
When the idea came about and Omar and I started talking about, or when I brought the idea of the podcast to Omar, it is in that mindset of, I don't really want to have a conversation point that we always have to talk about.
Right.
This is my second podcast. My first podcast is all based on the trail running industry. Correct. And it was, even though I let conversations go wherever they want, and that you're always in that mindset of, hey, this is a trail running podcast. We're going to talk about trail running.
Talk about grades, how much altitude.
Elevation,
yeah.
And so when I was like, I want to do something a little bit different that I don't I can step away from the business that I'm in, and I just want to have conversations with all different types of people, with all different types of like areas of interest that could happen. And then we bring in one or two people, and it's, we thought the conversation was going to be geared toward what the interest is or what the business is about. And the next thing we know, it's all about something else. And we've had a lot of conversations like that. And I think it keeps us interested and engaged in continue to do the podcast and wanting to learn from other people and have those conversations. And we've been really lucky that everybody who's come in has been that same mentality of, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
And we've had one individual who has come in who brought a sheet. And he's a former administrator and teacher, so he knew that was going to be the case, and he was trying to read off some of his answers off of that.
Or Mike.
Shout out to Mike.
Yeah.
And he still flowed with it, which is great. But we've only had that one person come in and just be like, we're here down the lane. But
Yeah.
so it makes it fun.
In his defense, though, he was talking about something extremely serious.
At that point, we were talking about education.
Yeah. But he also brought it in. He also brought it in for.
But he was a little bit more off script.
100. But not to just that. It keeps us engaged, but I think it also keeps the audience engaged. And so far, the feedback I've received from our audience is real simple. There's always something that I'm taking away, whether it's a nugget or a seed or whatever. I think it's super fun. And for me, it's therapy. I ain't thinking about nothing else, but the person in that seat or him and I are just shooting the shit, and it's nice. It's really nice. I disappear for an hour and a half.
So thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about you. And correct me wrong, is it mainly chiropractic that you're into? Because I've also seen on your Instagram, I also saw a birth doula as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is it a 50-50 split in what you do? Is it like...
Of that conversation we're having in this moment, my favorite part of being an entrepreneur is whatever your business is just the introduction to whatever is going to lead you into the right direction with that client. So a lot of my patients find me as their chiropractor, and then they end up becoming pregnant and they hire me as their doula.
Wow.
Or they listen to our podcast because they're like, I want to hear what Omar has to say today, who they're bringing on as a guest. And we end up talking about colon hydrotherapy and supplements and training and education. It's like we can get into a lot of things, especially as a chiropractor. People come to me with a lot of different problems that have nothing to do with back pain.
Got it.
It's because you gave the spiel at the group SD that I'm going to go see Yvonne today for the second time.
Oh, today, solid.
Solid, yeah. Not yet.
It'll be solid.
You're hoping it's solid.
I'm hoping that it's going to be solid.
It'll become solid.
So for the audience, you guys, we were talking about poop, right? So, I think everybody wants to know about my insides, bro.
Yeah.
And what comes out of me.
Your insides are probably very similar to 50% of the people listening.
100%.
Yeah.
See?
I told him I get the whole entire poop conversation. I get it. I get the health aspect of it. Is it one of my favorite topics? No.
I don't know, man.
I'm just not into it as far as that. Hearing what comes out of his body. I understand the health benefits of it. I'm actually having my
So you're first?
yeah. I'm having
The 50-year-old visit?
yeah. I'm having a
He
colonoscopy.
can't even say it right
I'm
now.
having a colonoscopy.
He's traumatized right now.
in a couple months or a couple weeks actually.
Couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple weeks. So we'll see what happens. So
Okay, dude. It'll
Good
be
for you.
fine.
Proactive. They're lowering the age limit for getting your first colonoscopy.
they should, I think.
Yeah. They're bringing it down to, I think, 31.
What?
Yeah, I heard that the other day.
No.
Yeah.
I did not know
Well, it used
that.
to be it used to be 50, and then they dropped it to 40, I think, right? And then I think in that area, I think they dropped it again in that 30.
When you guys gave the demonstration at the group SD, when you started about IBS and all this, I have all those symptoms. So I've been getting colonoscopy since when I was in my mid-30s. And so his wife works in the medical field, and so we were talking about it, and our mutual friend, Sai, shout out, come on now. Like we were talking about like the importance of it and how doing it. So when you guys gave the thing, I was like, I have all those symptoms, man. I have IBS, I have diverticulitis, I have all these other things that I got going on, and my energy level is shit right now. I blame it on my age. Jeff thinks it's because I'm an addict and I like to do things like just to add on to my life. Chiropractic. I have never been. Yeah, I'm going to shift it because this is getting too deep.
Let's get back up on the highway over here.
Yeah, high road. We're not underground anymore. I am scared shitless to go see a chiropractor. Why?
I am too, actually. I'll second that.
Second that? There you go.
Yeah.
I don't blame you, mainly because there are an infinite number of chiropractors and all of them practice differently. So you don't know what you're going to get if you walk into one office versus another. You see one video versus another and you think, okay, what's going to happen when I go to see a chiropractor?
Yeah.
And that's where I actually feel like I want to be a safe space for people who have never been to a chiropractor or who had a bad experience with a previous chiropractor or whatever it is. I want them to see, okay, this is me. When you come to my office, this is exactly what I'm going to be like. I'm going to talk to you the way that I'm on this podcast. I'm going to talk to you the way I'm in my office. What questions do you have? How can I help you? I'll be upfront with you. If you don't like what I have to offer, I'll refer you to somebody that I hope can help you.
You know what I wish? I think it's the hard thing is to see the videos of it.
Dude,
that's what freaks me out.
For sure. Am I going to end in a wheelchair?
If I never saw a video of somebody getting a chiropractic, like something done, an adjustment done, I'd probably be like, all right, I'll try it out. What freaks me out is when you see somebody like adjust the neck and all of a sudden it's
twitch
like,
in your fucking.
It's like, oh, God.
Also,
that trips me out.
Like 50% of these videos nowadays are not chiropractors doing those
adjustments.
I'm not shocked by that.
It pisses me off, actually, when I'll often go to those videos and then I'll look at, who reposted it and go to the originator and they're in maybe another country, not a chiropractor, or maybe a different type of practitioner that does some adjustments here or there, and they just harped on that bandwagon of, I'm going to record this, and I'm going to make 1 million new followers with these adjusting videos, and they're not even chiropractors. And one of my best friends and lots of my very good friends who are chiropractors, they became really Instagram famous with putting a microphone on their patient and then doing the adjustment, and it's super loud and yada. And I remember one of my best friends was like, you need to do this in like 2015. He was like, you need to get a little microphone for your adjustments so that you can hear the audible and people are going to follow you on Instagram. And I was like, I don't think the patient wants that. I don't think the patient wants to be broadcasted maybe in a vulnerable position. And not to mention, not every adjustment is going to look like that. You're almost like setting people up to come to your business thinking they know exactly what they need and exactly what's going to happen. And it's like, what if they don't need any of those things?
Yeah. I've heard like even the aspect that we're talking about fear and like education for the people that are listening, that is my biggest fear. It's like you're cracking my neck, like you're cracking my hip, you're cracking whatever. And some of these things, to your point, I always say believe about 10% of what's in social media right now.
Yeah, that's generous.
And there's like 10% of the millions and trillions of people that are on social media right now, 10% of them are telling the truth or not trying to sell you something. And it's sad to say that, but it has given chiropractic people, and then now they have it. And I'm like, what is a normal thing for somebody to come in? Like I'm assuming people would come to you for like back problems. Is the primary thing? Is that who you normally see?
Very common? Yes.
Yeah. And so if I were to walk into you and say, hey, look, I got this hip thing going on, how would that, is it an assessment? What does it look like?
So what I'm looking for as a chiropractor, they're called subluxations. So think of a dislocation in your shoulder. That's one huge movement, but a subluxation is smaller, and it's small and small over time. So let's say you've been squatting for 25 years. Your hip shifted just a little bit, subluxated a little bit more, and then you went on that hike and subluxated a little bit more. Now that position is not quite as stable as it used to be. So what adjustments do is pushes it back to the center. But there's so many different techniques on how to do that. So, for example, yesterday, I had a woman come to my office who she's been going to a chiropractor for 15 years. And he had this one particular technique, and it was for her neck. She had a big car accident in the 90s, and after 15 years, she was like, okay, with that chiropractor, what he's doing is not helping me. I'm going to try somebody else. So she just gave me a shot. I did a little bit of different types of techniques, but still very chiropractic based. She's feeling relief. And this shift is maybe the change she needed in that 15 years of chiropractic care. And I didn't just wail on her neck because she was scared of that too.
And so after you do an adjustment, how is it immediately they start feeling relief, or is it over time? How do you, like, how many times would I have to go see you? And I got a follow-up question to that, though.
Both of those things. So there's lots of people who get immediate relief. That makes me happy. It makes the patient happy. A lot of people that subluxation has been happening so repetitively over time, it's going to take a lot more consistency to get back to that normal medium place, but everybody's so different. There are some people, it's like they came in once or twice and whatever their problem was went away forever. And there's some people, they're under consistent care. It's like going to the gym. They're going to the gym 3 times a week. They're getting adjusted once a week. It's going to be more ongoing type of maintenance if they want to stay at that good level.
The follow-up question is that it's like, I know from a physiological and a biomechanical perspective, like I can understand, I can see instabilities in people when they're squatting or lunging or pressing overhead. Like you got rounded shoulders, you got upper cross, lower, you got all these things going on. You can see the syndromes in there in the movement patterns. But I think if I go get adjusted, it's going to feel great. I'm assuming if I'm with the right chiropractor. And what is the long-term, like, how can I prevent this from happening?
That's the hard part. That's where the students who do their homework, they really excel. Is, okay, if you're going to the gym and getting stronger, I want you getting stronger in the right position. So if you're getting adjusted and doing all of this self-care, all of the preventative stuff, if when you go to the gym, now your mobility and your movement is in this proper alignment and you're getting stronger in the right muscles, then you can hold your adjustment for longer. A lot of people with like sports injuries or like more acute type injuries, that's why they end up going to physical therapy only for a few months because that injury was an acute thing. Yeah. They started doing these types of rehab movements for 6 months, and then after that, they're good to go. With things that have been chronically accumulating over time, those are now just bad movement patterns. And that's where their personal trainer comes into play. That's where their yoga teacher comes into play. That's where their chiropractor comes into play. It's like, how are we going to break your bad habits and make sure they don't come back?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest piece. Is I went to a Perform Better seminar one time, and there was a doctor he was chiropractic as well, and he talked about it. And he was talking to a room full of trainers. And he starts asking questions. In my opinion, I'm not going to mention this, but in my opinion, he was coming off a little bit too arrogant. And I think there needs to be more collaboration between medical providers, chiropractic providers, even licensed massage therapists, right? Where you have people that are adjusting and changing things around in people, and even coaches and trainers that know what the hell they're doing. Like, it's so easy to be it's so much easier and better for the client overall if we're a little bit more collaborative. He was coming off like asking questions to coaches that are like probably been a coach for all of 6 months, and they're like, I don't know. I don't know. And he's like, there's 150 people in the room, and these poor coaches are like feeling embarrassed. I'm like, bro, just give us the answer. We're here to learn. And so I think that's where, like, for me as a coach, is I don't want to make you strong if you can't even fucking put your hand over your head. If you're here and you need to be here, like, how the fuck am I going to make you stronger? Right? And I just had another chiropractor walked into my gym, and I'm dying on the assault bike today. I'm sitting there, I'm looking for Omar. I'm like, but he's the same way. Land and sea. He's here in Oceanside.
Nice.
And anyhow, I didn't get to talk to him, but I would love to be able to work with more people like theirself and other chiropractors, because I think it's needed. I need to educate myself on it, right? I need to go get an adjustment myself. I got hip issues, and I know it's because my adductors are weak, or because of this week, and because I have all these instabilities. What would you tell somebody that's like myself, that's scared shitless to go into your office?
I appreciate the collaboration. And even as an expert in your field, expert in my field, I still don't want to be the smartest person in a room.
Absolutely.
So I'm constantly trying to find other people. Like, how can we collaborate? If we all have the same client, how can we all have the same mission for this client and not just think, oh, that's my competitor there, they're going to take my client away. It's no, we all want the best thing for that person, right? So how can I get somebody back to their physical peak performance, and then you optimize that peak performance, and then now you can test that peak performance. Like, how are they going to compete now, or whatever next level that person wants to get to? How are we all going to help them? But where the collaborations that I look for are people who I trust because I have seen them myself. There's a lot of gyms and Pilates studios and yoga studios where I personally want to be a member because I want to see how can I improve so I can send somebody to that gym or send somebody to that massage therapist. It's like, how did they help me? Okay, I have this other client has a similar problem. Now you can help them too.
Love that.
Come back to what I think both of you have spoken about here a little bit. For somebody who has not been to one again and who's scared to, I guess the one thing that I've always heard, and I mean, this is all hearsay or urban legend, whatever it is.
Come on, baby.
And one of the things that's probably scared me too is, hey, once you go to a chiropractor, you're stuck going to a chiropractor
forever,
and you're always going to have to get adjusted.
Yeah.
And so I understand that if you get adjusted correctly, you probably don't have to. And if you get adjusted incorrectly, you're probably stuck. Like, what's the mindset with something like that for from somebody who is maybe listening or somebody who's sitting right here that is worried about that? If I go in and get adjusted one time, like, I don't have to go see you every month. Yeah, I don't get stuck in seeing you every month if I don't feel like I need it.
I have a feeling she's going to answer, but go ahead.
I feel ya. And my mindset on that is you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
That's true. Yeah.
There are these business models, and I'll just remove chiropractic from the equation. Yeah. Let's pretend you want to buy and let's take gyms out of the equation too. Let's pretend you want to buy a car. Are you going to lease it for 2 years, or are you buying it? And you're just going to keep making payments until that thing is paid off, and then what? Keep it? Or are you going to buy a new car? I never want to make somebody feel pressured to stay in my office. I definitely used to work in these awesome offices that were helping thousands of people. I learned a lot from them. But we would sell a package, and that package was quite large. And so it was like, okay, you're already feeling better. You're already moving better. Things are working well for you. But I'm going to keep seeing you 3 times a week for the next 9 months. You got to get these micro
adjustments. You got to keep coming back, all this other stuff.
Not that they wouldn't benefit from it, but it was like, what if they moved? Or what if they had some type of financial hardship or whatever it may be? My mindset when I opened my own office was I wanted the people who wanted to see me, come see me. I wanted it to be affordable for them. And if they had to cancel, that there was no hard feelings. It's like, there's nothing personal. It's not that they don't want to see me because they don't like me anymore. It's okay. They're feeling better and they don't want to drive 30 minutes to Solana Beach from Oceanside or whatever. Yeah. Any pressure that's put on you as a patient, it takes away from the point of me being a chiropractor. Like, I'm a chiropractor to be this like moderate, like outside thinker for my patients. It's like tying them into some contract is like just doing what like a health insurance company would do to you. And I don't want to do that.
Love it.
So that's the feeling from a chiropractor standpoint. From a patient standpoint, talk to me from that perspective. And again, I think it's all a mental mindset.
I think her standpoint, though, is not just from a chiropractor. I think that's just her value as an entrepreneur.
No,
100%.
Trust me, I get that. Yeah. I understand. But she's talking as a professional.
Correct.
And the way she operates or the way she would like to operate and everything else. But from a patient perspective, I would assume it's a lot of mental aspect. Oh, man, I felt so good after that first adjustment. I'm going to keep going back, even though maybe they don't really have to. In some degree. I think that's what you're trying to say. I'm coming back from a perspective of that's what I've heard years. Oh, if you go one time,
that's it.
You're stuck going. And now you're trapped in this, you're going to have to get adjusted here because your back is going to start hurting you again.
Like that one medication, then you got to keep taking
so
whatever.
It's kind of weird. And I know that's not the case, but it's one of those things. We're having this conversation. I want to bring this stuff up because if I'm thinking it, other people are thinking
Absolutely.
it. Right?
Definitely.
The other thing that I think is quite interesting that I don't understand, that I hope you can help me out with, is I don't really understand, and I bring this up because a friend of mine used to take her little girl, no more than 4 years old, to a chiropractor.
Good Lord.
I don't understand that.
What's the mindset?
What's the mindset, and why would a parent feel they need to do that if the child is in a healthy condition?
Okay. Good question, both of them.
Yeah.
So first I'll answer from a patient standpoint, like if you start going to the chiropractor, are you going to have to keep going forever? So the answer is no, but what do you want to do? So it goes back to that, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. What do you want to do? It's like, you have a full sleeve. Do you want to get another tattoo?
Yes.
Yes.
You got a whole other arm over there.
His arm's looking kind of naked, bro. Like,
Yeah. It's like when you drink that first cup of coffee in the morning, you're like, all right, let's go. I'm going to break into this day. And you're like,
placebo.
I'm going to get a second cup of coffee. It's like you want to ride what feels good to you. And as a consumer, as a patient, I like to do things that make me feel good. I will tell you, there were certain injuries that I had before becoming a chiropractor that I legitimately only went to the chiropractor a handful of times and they went away forever. And they were so powerful to me that I became a chiropractor. And so now I get adjusted, yes, very regularly for many years now. But had I just been that patient and never went back, I would have still been a happy customer. And I would have said, 10 years ago, I went to a chiropractor who fixed my neck. And hopefully 10 years later, I'd still be in that good condition.
Yeah.
But that was me. For kids, so I actually do see a good number of kids in my office. And I'll tell you the number one reason, circling back to our introduction conversation, is constipation. So lots.
What?
Yes.
Really?
You're blowing my mind. Go ahead.
If I were to say probably 60% of my under 16-year-old patients,
Okay.
so age literally 2 to maybe 14 years old, the reasons their parents sought out a chiropractor, myself, was because their kid was not going number 2 without laxatives and Miralax and medications. And they were like, what the heck else can we do? And obviously kids don't have the same type of attention span. They don't want to be sitting in an hour long something or other.
Yeah.
Chiropractic is just a few minutes to get adjusted. And the reason why a young kid would now be able to go to the bathroom better after getting adjusted is because the nerves that go to their stomach are in their low back. So the same nerves that go to an adult's stomach starts in their low back. One of the very common things of irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis, those types of things, constipation, whatever it may be, is an impingement of a disc in their lumbars. And then that nerve goes to their gut, that nerve goes to their stomach, it goes to their rectum, wherever it may be. Same for a kid. And a kid doesn't have low back pain. A kid doesn't have sciatica. An adult may have sciatica, and it leads to this digestion motility problem. But in a kid, they don't have a disc herniation, but they do have a nerve irritation from their low back, maybe just from falling off the slide, sliding down the stairs, whatever they want to do. Kids are rough, especially on their butt. They're always like falling down on their butt. They think it's so fun. Or like jumping on the trampoline.
Yeah.
That same kind of movement that's like irritating one of the nerves in a little kid can be alleviated with a chiropractic adjustment. And kids don't have to get adjusted very often because their body is healing much faster.
Okay. That makes me feel so much better.
In the world, my mind is being blown right now, dude. I don't even know how to.
That's the thing.
I got so many questions. But go ahead.
When our friend was taking their daughter there, we never really asked the question because it's personal. I don't have kids, so I'm not gonna judge.
I got 6 of them, bro. So I can ask all the questions,
I know,
bro.
but I am not gonna judge the way people
raise their kid,
raise kids because I don't have.
Because you don't understand it.
So I never asked the question, but it was my wife and I was like, this is weird. Like, why would you take your 4-year-old to a chiropractor? And now that makes a lot more sense if you got somebody who's very active as a youth and can't.
The great majority of kids are, but
if you have that impingement and can't go to the bathroom, then I totally get it. That makes whole world of sense now.
So I'm just like, wow. I'm like, you're gonna crack my back and I'm gonna poop, bro.
Wait till you get to the bathroom.
Yeah. And so like that whole aspect, you just blown my mind. I never thought about it. But do you see kids that don't have that issue? And do you have people that bring their kids in on a regular basis for other things?
Yes, and typically pediatric chiropractic is becoming more and more popular, and I appreciate the wellness mindset those parents have. But most of the time, the parents saw some type of issue that was happening with the kid, and they didn't necessarily want to medicate or do some type of surgery for that person. And they were like, where can I look? Where can I look for a natural remedy? It's like chiropractic is a very easy, very gentle, natural remedy for a lot of these experiences that kids are getting, and it doesn't have to turn into a big, massive problem. It doesn't have to become like, my kid is sick. Hopefully, whatever problem they were having, the root of it was coming from their spine. Chiropractic adjustments, super gentle on the kid, maybe will alleviate it, and it never turns into that sickness, disease type of mindset.
I've always thought, too, that getting adjusted as somebody who hasn't fully developed yet with joints and everything else have an impact on that to like maybe bad, maybe good. I don't like, how does that mentality?
Good question. You're right. Their bones don't fully ossify until they're 22 years old. Yeah. So a pediatric adjustment, super gentle. Like, honestly, it's not the same technique as what you're thinking of as an adult. There's different tools that you can use. And I'll just give an example. There's a tool that a lot of chiropractors use. I won't even give the name because I don't want people to be like, oh, she's talking shit about that tool. It's very gentle. It's very gentle. And on adults, sometimes I use it if they're like scared of getting adjusted or whatever. I know it works. I'll tell a story about that later. I had this 4-year-old patient who is actually from the East Coast, and their parents were visiting San Diego just a few weeks ago, and somebody referred them to me because this 4-year-old was basically like overdosing on laxatives for the same reason, because they weren't able to poop. I adjusted that kid 2 times with this very gentle technique, this very gentle tool, and the parents on the East Coast are texting me being like, our kid is pooping. It's awesome. How can I find a chiropractor like you in Boston? And it's not that I'm not this like a healer. It's not that technique is like the most amazing thing in the world. It's just that we relieved a little bit of pressure from that nerve that was probably going to that kid's gut. And now that kid's pooping on his own. So what a good vacation. Good thing
I went to Cali. I came back to unload my deuce. Like, dude, yeah, wow. Yeah.
Nice little winter break for you.
Yeah. That's interesting. I would have never thought of chiropractic work as a intestinal.
So let's rewind everything here. What got you
into chiropractic?
What got you into getting into chiropractic? Are you from California, San Diego area?
Yes.
Okay.
From San Diego, I went to Westview High School, graduated in 2006. I should have bought a house in Carmel Valley when it was affordable. You should have, yeah. But I was so stupid, I went to college instead. Such a dumb idea.
Oh, God.
But in college, I went to college out of state. I played tennis. I had a full scholarship. I was an athlete. Yeah, I had lots of aches and pains, and I was like, whatever. I'm an athlete. This is what you have. This is how you get to this point.
This is the grind.
Pain is an absolute when it comes to college or collegiate or professional sports. Yeah. That doesn't have to be the case. I went to college, didn't get any athletic training care because tennis does not pay the bills for a D1 college. So all we had was ice and this little vibration thingy. And I had this electricity feeling in my neck.
Mad nerve issues.
Yes, nerve issues at age 17, like maybe just turned 18 at that point. Oof. And I just remember thinking like, okay, this is the start of the rest of my life. I'm going to have this pain for the rest of my life. And thank God at that time it was like Roadrunner or something, or like AOL'd chiropractor in Pocatello, Idaho.
Don't age yourself. Yeah. Come on now.
I didn't find anybody. There were no chiropractors, at least no chiropractors my college would pay for where I went to school. So I was just in pain for 2-3 years. definitely got more and more depressed in Idaho. That's where I went to school and did the medication thing, did the daily medications that didn't sit with my biochemistry. I turned into a different person. I turned into a crappier person. And finally, when I graduated from college, moved back to San Diego, and I went to a chiropractor just like 2 times. And that chiropractor alleviated my neck pain immediately and changed my outlook of why I was so depressed. He basically was like, your spinal cord and your nervous system is under duress, and it's been under duress for 17 years of you playing tennis. Just to change your lifestyle and change the biomechanics of your neck and of your spine is going to also change your mental health and also change your healing ability. And that one chiropractor, who I don't even talk to him to this day, but he legitimately changed my outlook of my own healing. And then years later, I went to chiropractic school.
Wow.
So you didn't even go to school. You didn't go to college for that. What did you go to college for
No, but
initially?
I don't think you can go to college for chiropractic.
No,
Right? That's a continuing education type of mentality. Right?
I went to my undergrad's in speech pathology. So it was in health. I knew I was going to be in the healthcare field, and I had a lot of anatomy background in speech pathology. But you're right. Chiropractic school is a graduate degree, and most chiropractic schools they're like privately owned. You would never, you can't get like a tennis scholarship to a chiropractic school.
Yeah.
How does, and I don't know this, and I probably should because my wife works in medical, is chiropractic care part of health plans now? How does that work?
Some of them you can choose to be. You can choose to be an in-network with an insurance company chiropractor. I don't want to bash on any in-network chiropractic.
And I'm not asking you to, but I'm just curious as health plans continue to rise as far as price points and stuff. And provide less.
Yes.
And it's weird how some things are completely like excluded, and some of the most random things are added in. It's like, where's the guidelines here?
There is none.
We can talk about that. And when I say I don't want to bash them, I don't want to deter somebody who legitimately cannot pay cash for whatever type of care and they need to use an in-network chiropractor. Fine. But what insurance companies often pay for are not even chiropractic modalities. They're not even chiropractic techniques. Like what the insurance often pays for to a chiropractor who is in network will be like soft tissue or ice or heat or this type of machine, but it's like they don't reimburse for a chiropractic adjustment. So it's like, why should I be in network if you're not going to reimburse me?
Yeah.
My outlook for that reason is, number one, I'm Filipino. My parents, born and raised in the Philippines. When I moved back to San Diego, they were like, you can't be charging LA prices. And I was like, I know, you're right. I purposely priced my office to be literally the bare minimum that an insurance company would pay a chiropractor. That's how much my cash price is. To my patients, they get this cash discount and they can still submit a super bill to their insurance. If they get reimbursed, cool, they keep it.
Yeah.
I think in a lot of ways, there's so much available in the wellness space. And I hate using that term too, because it sounds so like quacky, like, but I think that there's so much alternative to Western medicine available to people that actually does help, fitness being one of them.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, why can't an insurance company pay for 50%, 60% of a quality-based fitness subscription of some sort where people can come in, like the Medi-Cal pays for silver sneakers or whatever, and it's too late at that point. It's great that they're moving at that point, but at 80, 90, 65, 70, and I haven't moved at all my entire life, it's like dropping a penny in a huge-ass ditch. It just drives me freaking nuts, and I'm going to get on a soapbox. So I'm going to shut the hell up. But
Get
eventually,
yeah,
I am on the soapbox. I'm letting it out, man.
You have this
brought it up, bro. You brought it up. You got me fired up, bro.
You have this platform.
You
Go
got
for
me
it.
fired up,
Go
bro.
Preach, man. Go for it.
But all that to say is, I think things like chiropractic, even though I haven't been one, I think I'm going to go see you.
I would love to see you, Omar.
Yeah, just don't hurt me.
Oh, okay.
But I think things like that would definitely benefit people. I think your approach to what you're doing in your business is amazing, right? Because I have the same way. I feel the same way. Like, I don't want to. The fitness industry is so shitty in a lot of ways. It's grimy. It's gimmicky. It's not true in a lot of ways. There's businesses out there that are offering unrealistic goals and things to people.
Are you trying to tell me that every single time I see a fitness instructor on an Instagram, it's not the correct thing to be doing?
Not every single time, but the greater majority
every
of the time.
Every single time I see an Instagram fitness model, male or female, doing something
full
online.
Of shit.
Is it full of shit?
Yeah,
really?
Full
You're
of
telling me that? Really?
No, I'm not saying all of them, but the greater majority of them are. And I know a couple
Constipated of shit.
Yeah, they need to go see Lisel. So that they can get released in that one area of their spine.
Start working out correctly.
Yeah. Maybe go see Yvonne and get flushed out. Maybe. But it's scary because I think the wellness space, fitness included, is in that space.
Yes.
There's some benefit to it if they're credible and if you are truly trying. I always say this, and I think you would agree with it. You want people, because you said something that I always say when I'm selling my product. I don't want people that don't want to be here. And I think I tell all this to all of my clients, like, I'm trying to put myself out of a job. What do you mean? You don't want me to come and see you anymore? I said, not that I don't want you to be here, but if I have to continuously show you how to do a freaking squat or watch you squat, then what the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? What am I doing? Jeff's the exception because he just likes to hang around with me. But
yes.
Yeah. See?
Short answer. Yes.
But like to that point, I think the wellness space, if a lot of people took that approach in their business, I think insurance companies may be more apt to use that. And also, if insurance companies were stop trying to be fucking banks, give me a fucking break, I think the world would be a lot better place, right? When they knew people like Lisel to come in and help them out poop or feel pain. Or I'm actually going to refer one of my good friends who's having a struggle with her shoulder and her trap issues, and that she's seen several chiropractors for and has not been able to get it fixed, right? And so, but first I'm going to see you so that I can.
I would love.
And so I think, to finish my point, I think if the wellness space and if in the insurance companies were to be able to offer some of these qualified services that actually do fucking work instead of pushing a pill, I think the world would be a lot better place. And I think our obesity epidemic would be a lot better. I think people would have realistic expectation when it comes to fitness, chiropractic, licensed massage therapy, colon hydrotherapy, like all these things that are available to people. I think it'd just be a better place.
We're lucky to be business front and patient front, client front. We're often the first people that a person seeks out in whatever their issue is. So they may walk into your gym because they're like, I'm feeling lonely. Also, I definitely have these achy joints. I heard that working out could maybe help me a little bit. And then as they start working out, they're like, wow, okay, I actually do feel better in my mind. I'm happier I'm meeting all these cool people. I still definitely have some achy joints. What can I do now? Oh, maybe I should try that massage thing. Maybe I should try that chiropractic thing. By the time they get to the chiropractor, next time they go to a yoga studio, whatever it is, it's, hey, now I have this positive outlook, this growth mindset. What else can I do? Maybe now I'm going to do a competition and I'm going to test myself, even though I'm 55 years old and was told that I was never going to run a trail ever again. It's like, what brought you into the gym? What brought you into the chiropractor? Because you had back pain? Or because you wanted to learn how to squat, or because you wanted to pick up your kids or drive in your car or maybe play basketball again, whatever. It's what was the underlying reason that you found us, and hopefully you find the right person when you're seeking somebody out.
Yeah, I think that's the key. And it's so many that in the fitness space, it's jaded in a lot of ways, right? And I hate talking smack, and I've had to check myself in a lot of ways. When you talk, I love the fact that you're like, some chiropractors are this, but you really didn't talk shit on them. You're just speaking what your experience has been. And I'm the same way when it comes to fitness. I had to check myself because I was like, people are going to be like, that's my competitor. I'm like, no, the last I checked, dude, freaking obesity epidemic went from like 60%. And I think we're at 80% right now in the United States. Last I checked, we got enough business out there for people and the modalities of just in the fitness space. I'm just speaking fitness. There's so much fitness out there, whether you're doing fucking aerobics, water aerobics at the 24-hour or the Y, or you are clanking and banging barbells in my gym, or you're at a boot camp style workout or a spin class. It doesn't fucking matter. As long as you have a consistent pattern that you are doing, like brushing your fucking teeth, that you're practicing on a daily basis. I see a chiropractor maybe once a quarter or once a month, once a year, whatever. And this is part of my health and wellness regimen, right? And so I think that's what we need to focus in on as wellness professional, in my opinion, where even Jeff, I admire his community all the time, but I think people go to him because of the community and the energy and the event and the venue that he puts together. Like, people are always like, oh, I love Jeff. This ERS is a great...
I'm a lovable guy.
Yeah, you are. But and you are. You absolutely are. Like, dude, his last race of the season, he brought up all these people that paid for all of his series, and he's like thanking them. And he's, oh my God. And I'm just looking over like admiring, dude, that's my boy right there, bro. Yeah, you are a lovable guy. Yeah. And so I will echo that. But all that to say is I think the wellness space and even all the stuff that we do is so powerful in regards to coming into the right person. One, if you're listening to this and you're scared like I am to go see a chiropractor, or you're even scared to step in a gym, I always say, there is a gym, there is a chiropractor, there is a race series that somebody that is for you, that's going to be a consistent thing that you're going to be able to put in your life that hopefully you'll carry on for the rest of your life. So, soapbox over.
That's the word.
You're down off your soapbox?
I'm done. I'm sitting down. I'm stepping down now, bro.
Okay.
I'm stepping down. Yeah.
I second that. I think having the conversation with you and hearing a little bit more of the chiropractic side of things, and it makes me less scared, so to speak, about going to it. I think,
hesitant.
I think it's one of those things, like the visual aspect of it, when you see the videos and see people like really aggressively get their neck cracked, you're like, I definitely don't want that, but it's calms my nerves a little bit. That's not the case.
Calms your nerves. That's my goal as your chiropractor, is to make your nervous system chill.
Yeah, see?
Calm your nerves. If I could just give one piece of advice to anybody, whether they're looking for a chiropractor or anything else, it's go somewhere that calms your nerves, that makes you chill. It's like you can do all the high stress stuff outside, but when you're looking for healing, it's like you got to be in a relaxed state. You have to be in a healing state in order for that to happen.
Yeah.
Love that. I fucking love that.
Before we let you go, and if you're listening in San Diego area, where can all the San Diegans find you?
Thank you. I'm in Solana Beach, right next to the train station there. I answer my Instagram more likely than my phone. My Instagram is Dr_Lisel, Lisel.
Perfect. And we'll make sure we put that in the show notes so people can click on that and follow you right away. But thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So fun.
This has been an international podcast transmission of No Fixed Agenda presented by Bubs Naturals. Music was provided by the Poor Dirty Astronauts with lyrics written by Matt Meyer. You can rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you find your favorite podcast episodes. NFA, over and out.